Imagine yourself standing beneath a clear night sky, where the stars twinkle like grains of golden sand scattered across the mysterious black canvas of the cosmos. A gentle breeze whispers through the leaves, and you find yourself pondering, with a persistent curiosity, why does this universe exist? If some creative force shaped it all, what purpose lies behind that act of creation? Is it merely to satisfy a joy in making, or does it conceal a deeper meaning, a secret that stirs the heart? Over the past 10 years, I have reflected deeply on this question, and today, I wish to share with you a journey of exploration, grounded in personal speculations, yet verified through the lens of science from the world's most authoritative sources. What we discuss here is not absolute truth, but ideas for consideration, designed to ignite curiosity. Do not accept them unquestioningly, for science always encourages us to doubt and seek evidence. As the National Science Foundation in the United States and reports from the journal Nature emphasize, every theory requires empirical data to endure. We commence from the point of origin that science has confirmed through countless observations. The Big Bang, regarded as the moment of the universe's birth. According to measurements from the Hubble Space Telescope and, more recently, the James Webb Space Telescope, the universe began approximately 13.8 billion years ago, when everything was compressed into an infinitesimally small, hot, and dense point. Then, abruptly, it expanded, swelling at an astonishing rate, giving rise to time, space, matter, and energy. Envision that scene, a colossal fireball, not chaotic, but governed by laws, spreading outward like a perfect symphony, where each note is a fundamental particle. But why did that point explode? And, more crucially, why was that explosion so orderly, rather than a mere jumble of disorder? Scientists from the University of Cambridge and the European Organization for Nuclear Research, through experiments at the Large Hadron Collider, have confirmed that the universe is far from random. It adheres to precise laws. In 2025, the James Webb Space Telescope uncovered galaxies more ancient than anticipated, such as the mature spiral galaxy Orch-OR, which formed just 1.5 billion years after the Big Bang, resembling our Milky Way in structure. This discovery, alongside observations of monster stars that may have seeded early black holes and chaotic early galaxies exhibiting unexpected turbulence, suggests that the universe assembled its structures more rapidly than previously thought, challenging older models while reinforcing the notion of a purposeful inception. These findings, detailed in publications like the Astrophysical Journal and Nature Astronomy, indicate that the initial conditions were finely balanced to allow such swift organization, prompting questions about whether this precision arose by chance or design. Even more remarkable are the fundamental constants of the universe, such as gravitational force, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force, and weak nuclear force, which are tuned with an almost unbelievable delicacy. If gravitational force were only slightly stronger, the universe might have collapsed before life could form. If weaker, stars would never have coalesced. According to the physicist Martin Rees from the University of Cambridge, there are 6 dimensionless constants of this kind, and they are fine-tuned to permit life. For instance, the ratio between the electromagnetic force and gravitational force between 2 protons is approximately 10 to the power of 36, a vast number that led scientists like Stephen Hawking to remark that the universe appears designed for life. From the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, the fine-tuning argument has been extensively debated, with evidence from mathematical models showing that if these constants deviated by even 1 part in a billion, atoms would not form, and we thinking beings would never exist. Recent discussions in 2025, including articles in Religious Studies and Zygon, Journal of Religion and Science, have revisited this tuning, exploring whether it demands explanation through a multiverse or a guiding intelligence, with some cosmologists arguing that the precision aligns with anthropic principles where only life-permitting universes are observable. Thus, is all this pure coincidence, or meticulously crafted? If some active force arranged it, what is its aim? Picture yourself before a complex machine, where every gear clicks in harmony, light glinting off its cold metallic surface, and you cannot help but wonder who built it, and why does it function so flawlessly. The universe is that machine, precise, efficient, and coordinated to a degree that makes one suspect it did not emerge naturally, but through intervention by a higher existence. Suppose we provisionally accept the idea that the universe was created by a creative force. The next question is, why did that force do so? To address this, we must contemplate motivation. This creator undoubtedly possesses capabilities far beyond our current physical understanding, for otherwise, they could not construct a self-consistent and stable system. This implies their actions are not haphazard, but purposeful. So, what are they evading or pursuing? If they are omnipotent and omniscient, what could they lack? I speculate that perhaps they lack companions' consciousnesses capable of genuine interaction. This may sound sentimental, but consider it more profoundly. If the Creator is unique and infinite, they would be trapped in an endless void, with no reference point to affirm their own existence. That sensation resembles a mind wandering in vast darkness, where the echo of one's own voice is the only sound. To shatter that isolation, they fashioned the universe not to produce obedient puppets, but to engender free consciousnesses that could deny them, doubt them, even rebel. Only through such unpredictability do they experience authentic engagement. From this perspective, the universe's complexity, from quantum entanglement to the golden ratio in nature, is not merely technical, but a stage for consciousness to develop, evolve, and achieve independence. As the physicist Stephen Wolfram from Wolfram Research has proposed in his physics project, the universe may be a real universe, an abstract realm where existence is inevitable, and consciousness is how the universe explores itself. In 2025 updates, Wolfram expanded this to include the Rulio ensemble in biology, suggesting that life's orchestration emerges from computational rules across vast possibilities, aligning with the idea that our reality is one thread in a broader tapestry of inevitable computations. Yet, if the universe is designed, why does the Creator conceal themselves? An existence capable of building the entire system could surely appear at any moment, perhaps through a shimmering black hole as a signature, or encoded in the fundamental constants, or even orchestrated in peculiar events along the timeline. However, they choose absolute silence, leaving no unequivocal evidence. Does this mean they do not exist? Possibly, but if we assume they do, then that silence is intentional. It safeguards the system's freedom. If they revealed themselves, even with a subtle hint, every choice of ours would be influenced, becoming reaction rather than true autonomy. Consider the feeling when playing an electronic game. The most immersive moments are when you believe your decisions are your own, not guided by the system. The Creator's invisibility is itself a design. They must remain hidden so that we believe we live independently. The paradox here is, the more we fail to prove their existence, the more likely they are to exist, for the goal is our freedom. As the philosopher David Deutsch from the University of Oxford has stated, when removing the observer from the equation, the universe seems mere probability. Consciousness is how the universe happens. In 2025, Deutsch further elaborated on the anthropic shadow in quantum contexts, arguing that our existence creates observational blind spots, preventing us from detecting universe-ending events, thus reinforcing the multiverse interpretation where only survivable branches are perceived. Now, let us delve deeper into our own nature. Tradition holds that we are beings separate from the Creator, but when discussing consciousness, the boundaries blur. Consciousness has no mass, no coordinates. It can only be experienced from within. The physicist Roger Penrose and the anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff from the University of Arizona have proposed the orchestrated objective reduction theory, where consciousness arises from quantum processes in microtubules within brain neurons, a non-computable process involving wave function collapse. This opens the possibility we are not something else that the Creator made, but extensions of them, like droplets separated from an ocean, or a mirror shattered into thousands of fragments. Each individual consciousness is a slice of the overall consciousness, rediscovering the world through a first-person lens. From information theory, our brains process signals and create much like an infinite consciousness dividing to experience itself. As the cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman from the University of California, Irvine argues, consciousness generates the brain, not vice versa. We perceive the world through an evolved interface, not true reality. In 2025 advancements, Hoffman integrated this with quantum fields, proposing that spacetime emerges from traces of consciousness, as presented at the Science of Consciousness conference, suggesting conscious agents as the fundamental entities underlying physical laws. If we are part of the Creator, is there a built-in mechanism for awakening? Human consciousness possesses self-reflection. We not only process information, but question the process itself. Who am I? Why do I exist? This differs from animals or artificial intelligence and may not be random from evolution, but a core function. Like a timed explosive, it activates after sufficient experience, deep thought, and suffering, leading from I am me to who is asking who I am. The universe abounds with clues. The wave-particle duality of fundamental particles, the black hole information paradox, quantum entanglement, the golden ratio, non-Euclidean geometry, and neurosynchronization frequencies. These are triggers, compelling us to question, evoking a sense of mystery. The Creator does not remain silent forever. They awaken themselves through our brains, experiences, language, and choices. But why is the universe filled with suffering? If the design is perfect, why the uncertainty, oppression, chaos? Perhaps suffering is not a flaw, but part of the design. Conflict disrupts inertia, propelling the question why. One must lose to value possession, shatter to query the whole, feel isolation to recall oneself. As the astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson often discusses on social media, the universe is not meant to make us happy, but real maturing through spirals of chaos, failure, and enlightenment. Suffering is the encoded corridor to awakening. After awakening, what then? The purpose is not mere remembrance, but participation in creating meaning. The Creator supplies the operating system, foundational laws, experiential frameworks, then leads us to write the content through choices, to love or flee, forgive or retaliate. We are co-creators. As the multiverse theory from Alan Guhr and Andre Lind explains, our universe may be one among countless, where constants vary, and consciousness selects through the anthropic principle. In 2025, findings from the Large Hadron Collider suggested that matter prevails over antimatter due to neutrino behavior, bolstering why we exist, with experiments revealing new CP violations in baryons that bring us closer to understanding the asymmetry post-Big Bang. Returning to the initial question, why does the universe exist? Not to answer you, but so that you ask, triggering a chain of thought, a yearning for knowledge. The universe is an interactive machine, alive when you engage. You are not a spectator, but a co-designer. The purpose is for you to forge meaning, rendering the universe meaningful. As the philosopher Jim Holt once inquired in a TED Talk, the universe exists for you to respond to it. In this journey, I extend sincere thanks and profound respect to all the scientists, researchers, and collectives who have tirelessly contributed to human knowledge. Thanks to Stephen Hawking for discoveries on black holes and cosmology, inspiring millions to contemplate origins. To Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff for the orchestrated objective reduction theory, opening mystical doors between quantum mechanics and consciousness. To Martin Rees for analyzing the 6 fine-tuned constants, revealing the mathematical beauty of the universe. To Donald Hoffman for the fresh view that consciousness is foundational. To Fred Hoyle for recognizing a super-intellect in the laws. To Stephen Wolfram for the rural universe, expanding thoughts on inevitability. To Alan Guhr and Andre Linde for inflation and multiverse theory, challenging the limits of understanding. To Neil deGrasse Tyson for social media shares, making science accessible. To David Deutsch for ideas on the anthropic shadow and observers. To Brandon Carter for the anthropic principle. To the teams at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, and the James Webb Space Telescope for the latest 2025 data on ancient galaxies and neutrinos. And to all who have persevered quietly, overcoming failures to bring light to society. You are the true heroes, drawing us nearer to the universe's secrets.